afternoon and welcome to Couch Convo. I am your host, Tracy. I know it's been a while. I just realized that my episodes have not been being uploaded to my YouTube channel. So the recordings that I have been doing were absolutely a waste. And I did episodes that have been at least almost an hour. So today's episode is going to be about what are we doing to heal from the fact that we are now in the position that we are in. It's really nothing that we could do to change that situation. We just have to accept it for what it is. Now, to be honest with you, it's not an easy journey. It's definitely hard to accept that you're placed in this position. We don't want to blame anybody else for putting us in this position because we have free will and we had the choice and we made decisions in our lives that kind of contribute to why we're here. So let's start off by working on ourselves. Never sitting in our pity and allowing what happened to consume us. Even though it hurts, even though you feel like I'm in a position where I don't want to be, I don't have a booklet to tell me where to go from here. We just got to get up and we have to do the best that we can. But first, working on ourselves and understanding that we are not placed in positions that we're not supposed to be in. If you understand where I'm coming from. There is a reason for everything that happens in our lives. We may not understand why it is happening, and we may not even understand why it's happening at the time that it's happening. We may not understand the reason for us being there and in this position, but God has something in store for us that's a lot better, and that's something that we have to tell ourselves in order to get past the journey of understanding and realizing that we're here. Getting to a place where, okay, I'm here and now I want to heal. So wanting to heal from that experience is definitely the first start and the best start. The first thing that I did was I started focusing on positive things instead of negative things. I didn't look at my situation as becoming a single mother as negative. I looked at it as you're placed in this position for a reason. I looked at it as now it's time to move into your purpose, because you asked God and you prayed to God to remove people from your lives and put you in a situation where you were able to see what was aligned with you, who was aligned with you, and when things will be aligned for you. You asked for it. You asked for God to remove things that were not aligned for you. And in some circumstances, our significant others became that person, the who, that was removed from our lives. So that's how I started my journey in healing. I started thinking of the positive things. I started thinking about the things that I wanted to do and focus on in my life. Like I always wanted to start a business. I have went to school for business management. I wanted to own a hair salon because I always loved doing hair. I went to school to do hair. So I wanted to be the owner of a hair salon, but I found a different passion. I found a way to bring my kids closer together. So this business would be a business where me and my children will be able to bond together so that we can have a better understanding of where I am as a mother. And I can pretty much focus on them. So I started a t-shirt business after God removed the when, where, how, the negative people out of my life. I started aligning myself with people that were also in business. And so happened those people that were in business were either hairstylists or they owned a t-shirt crafting business / boutique. So we got together, we had conversations on where to start, when to start, and why. And it wasn't too much of when to start, because the best thing that you can do is just start. Start somewhere where the imaginable can happen. And that's how I started to look at things. Once I started focusing on the positive things, I realized and understood that I had to find the positive in things that I personally felt were negative. Once I started overlooking the negative and finding the positive things in certain situations, things just began to align with me. People that were supposed to come into my life came into my life, and they did remarkable things for me. Also, this is one of my greatest books, Project 360. This is not the book that I first started with. The first book was like a journal. You write your affirmations in the journal, your goals, what do you want to happen in your life, how you be more specific about the things that you want to occur in your life, and you speak in present term. This, like I said, this is not the first journal, but getting these Project 369 books really did help me in my healing journey, and it was a success. Anytime that you are living, you are learning. If you are able to breathe and go through life, you are learning something, and it may not be something that you have to heal from, but everything in life has a lesson to be taught. One thing that I really love about the Project 360 books is that you can manifest the life that you want by believing and encouraging yourself to be in a better place when it comes to healing. And the Project 360 book really did help me in my spiritual journey as well as my healing journey. Once I started eliminating the negativity and focusing more on the positive, within the first month of my business, I made $3,000 to $4,000. Unbelievable. I did not think that I could do it. I honestly just felt like, I'm just starting. I don't have a lot of friends. Most of my business didn't really come from family and friends. It came from people that I didn't know. Some people did support me that I did know, and they passed the word on to other people. Social media has been a big outlet for marketing your businesses. So that was also an awesome thing for me. And that also kept me busy. Because when we get into a place where we're healing, we tend to have to stay busy so that we wouldn't dwell on how we got here and the things that the individual did to put us there. I did not come from a great relationship, and it's not because of any cheating or infidelity or arguing and fussing. I just was not with a person that was willing to grow in the same direction or even in the same time as I was growing. I wanted more in life, and it wasn't what they wanted. I didn't want to wait for them. I didn't want to wait for them to feel like, okay, I'm in a position for something better. And I was getting tired of being drawn back to not be where I want to be in life. So we kind of grew apart. If we ever was going on the right direction, sometimes we're with individuals and we don't even understand if the person is for us or not. We just feel like we're so in love, and this person is making me feel like I am everything. And in my circumstances, he was a great provider for my household and my children. And that was pretty much it at the time that we were together. We spent almost 18 plus years together, on and off. So the most important thing to me was him being a provider, not even thinking about what he brought to me. He did definitely show me when I was pregnant with my twins that he can potentially be a caring individual, a helping individual. That side of him, I really never have seen. I don't know if because we had twins and they were boys. I really honestly don't know. But after the excitement of having twins was over, it was back to the regular normal schedule, and that was not enough for me. I was ready to do bigger and better things in life. And the minute that our relationship ended, I started doing bigger and better things and started elevating in life. So this is why I say, when you look at your circumstances, don't look at it as you failed life and things aren't the way that you planned for it to be. So I just have to sit here and just allow it to consume me, because you don't have to allow it to consume you. I can always find a positive out of anything that's negative. And that's always what I tell myself. I tell my coworkers, this happens for a reason, and they are shocked that I even think like that. Like, I would be mad and frustrated and yelling and screaming, upset because how things turned out, and I try not to live like that. I try to live in a positive era so that I can suck in all the prosperity that's designed and destined for my life. Another book that I read that's good is Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? This book really helps you look at how to react to things that happen in your life and why things are happening and how to view it from a different point of view. I really like this book. I haven't finished it. I'm almost finished, but I haven't finished it yet. And this book is also a book that has been very detrimental to me changing my point of view in life when it comes to trauma and healing. I think that we do not talk about healing enough. I think that people don't recognize that healing is a requirement in order to move forward in life. And that's my opinion. I do not believe that we can jump out of one hurtful situation and move into another one and say that we're healed. And that's why it took me 6 years to get to the point where I was ready to start dating again, because I wanted to focus on me. I know it was a lot of things in my relationship that I didn't do correctly, or things that I could have, and I won't even say correctly, but things that I could have done in a different way. Like, because I was the one that owned the house and had money to do what I needed to do, I felt like there's nothing you can tell me because you're not where I am. You didn't help me get here, and I'm pretty much doing it on my own. I did it on my own before you came, so I can very much so do it without you. That was my attitude at one point in our 18 plus years together, on and off. At one point, I got to the point where I was like, let's try something different, because I do understand that when men are not put in a position where they are the breadwinner, or they can wear the pants, or feel like they're not wearing the pants, they can feel resentful. So when we did get back together, at some point within that 18-year time frame, I realized that I had to look at that point from a different point of view. But even so, the relationship still did not prosper as we would have wanted to, or I would have wanted to. Being that I already have kids with him, I wanted to get married at some point, but marriage wasn't even a big thing. But I didn't come from a single family home, so I didn't want my children to come from a single family home. And that was another reason why I continued the relationship for 18 plus years on and off, because I really wanted my kids to be brought up in a home where it was both me and their father. But I had to understand that that's not always the case. Just because I was brought up into a family where I both had my mother and my father raised me sometimes that's just not the case. And it's okay. It's nothing to feel like you failed at. It's nothing to feel like you are a big disappointment. This is life. And like I said, as long as you're living, you will always have lessons that you need to learn or will have to learn. Another thing that I did in my healing process was journaling. I never really cared too much about journaling. I never really saw the purpose in journaling. But once you write your thoughts down and on paper and read it, you really get to understand what's going on in your life better. On a spiritual journey, I would write down my thoughts and what were going on, and I will burn it to release it back to the universe. Yeah, that was something that I learned in my spiritual journey, and I sometimes still do it. I write my intentions down on a full moon or a new moon, and I burn it to send it back to the universe, because we want to speak things into existence. And I am a firm believer of speaking things into existence. I try hard not to doubt myself. I am a Queen of Hearts woman, which once again, that's something that I learned on my spiritual journey. And once you learn who you are in according to your birth date, you can see remarkable things within yourself. Everything that I learned about me, I'm also a Leo. My birthday is July 29th. So being a Leo woman born on July 29th, making me a Queen of Hearts woman, I've learned that I should never doubt myself when it comes to things that I want to do in life. Like I said, once you learn who you are, even on a spiritual level, you start looking at things differently. You even start looking at yourself differently. So when we're in the process of healing, we have to first look at and understand, one, why we're healing, accept the fact that we're healing from one particular situation or a particular situation. Two, getting to the point where we say that we're ready to start healing. And three, start working on ourselves and trying to find out more about ourselves, how we operate, our mind frame, what we think, our mentality, and looking at how to deal with situations differently. Like I said, journaling has been one important thing that I have done. The Project 360 book is a part of journaling. I also have a notebook where I write down my thoughts. Project 369 journaling is you doing affirmations, you reading more about how to manifest things into your life. Gives you a better understanding of how to manifest things into your life. And the 369 is you writing down your affirmations in present term 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. And I've done that for a couple years. I have about 3 or 4 journaling books. They do have different versions. I can tell you from experience that Project 369 books actually work. I have been able to manifest some great things into my life that I'm very proud of. So once you get into the point of healing, you just have to keep going. Don't ever feel like I'm not to a point where I want to be, where I need to be, so I'm going to stop now. So the question is, what are you doing to heal from your circumstances? Are you just allowing it to consume you? Or are you starting somewhere? Are you focusing on why you're here and what you need to do to get out of a place where you feel like it's your fault, where you're doubting yourself and not working towards something better? Once again, what are you doing to heal from your trauma? Think about it and see you in the next episode.